Genesis Essentia. You need it almost as much as a lactose intolerant person needs toilet paper after binge eating an entire container of ice cream. Okay, that was cringe. Sorry. Let's start off with getting to know the Genesis brand, since it is a relatively new one. Genesis didn't start off as a singular brand, it started off as just a rebadged Hyundai. Conceived in 2004, the Genesis concept was announced to the world, creating one of the first statements that Korean car brands can create luxury sedans. Finally finished and shown on the 2008 North American International Auto Show, it was a progressive interpretation of the modern rear-wheel drive sports sedan. So, basically a knockoff version of an E-Series Mercedes-Benz inspired by K-pop culture. The Hyundai Genesis had a body design that took 3 years to create, and its program cost the Korean brand over $500 million. Money that was definitely well spent, because the car in test could run for more than 800,000 miles. Reality is that it wasn't that perfect, but not bad at all for the first attempt at the luxury car market. The sales in the United States and Canada were a success at first, but it gradually started to decrease. But Chris Hosford, Hyundai's US spokesman, wanted to make the Genesis a standalone brand. He stated that the Genesis was successful in the luxury car market, it was among the top 3 segment sellers, and he also said that the customers demanded a separate Genesis division. He definitely knew what he was talking about. And finally, on December 9th, 2015, Genesis Motor launched their first model as a standalone company, the G90, and it's the brand's flagship model. I thought they would launch it in light pink and call it K-Poopy. A brand with big ambitions and with people who can easily make Genesis one of the best luxury car brands in the world. This company is run by people who know the industry and have experience that is hardly matched. Luke Donkerwolk, former design director of Volkswagen subsidiaries like Bentley, Lamborghini, and Audi, is chief creative officer. Bam! And I'm just getting started. Mark Del Rosso, former president of Audi of America, is CEO of Genesis North America. Mark Hsene, former vice president at Mercedes-Benz, is CEO of Genesis Motor China. Yeah. If this was a football team, it would be the GGs. Albert Bierman, former head of the BMW M Performance division, oversees tuning and performance as executive vice president of performance development and high-performance vehicles. So he will definitely build a Korean still M4 and call it the K-pop 4 competition. Okay, I'll stop teasing K-pop fans, because if you all come together, I will be roasted in the comments. While you're at it, you know what you should do? Go to the link in the description and enjoy what ExpressVPN has to offer you. With ExpressVPN, you can get more than 6 times the amount of movies and TV shows on Netflix. You can get access to Korean movies, TV shows, and treat yourself to some good K-pop inspired movies and documentaries about your favorite K-pop band. Or, if you're not into that, go ahead and choose another country, maybe Spain or Brazil, and enjoy their exclusive TV shows. Oh, no problem. You can thank me by liking and subscribing to our channel. I know you will definitely enjoy our videos. Genesis' plan was to start with the US, South Korea, Middle East, and China markets first, and the European would soon follow. The Korean brand, when created, set off to deliver 6 new models before 2021, 3 sedans, 2 SUVs, and finally a sports coupe. They wanted to set a great foundation and have various models so they could compete with the Europeans in the executive luxury car market. As mentioned previously, they started off with the G90. This car had a 5-liter V8 and it wasn't pink. It had 420 horsepower with a smooth engine, heads-up display, and many more features that you would also see in a European E-Class, for example. Despite arguably not being as good as traditional luxury brands, but it was cheaper. The G80 is like the Baby Yoda. Smaller, but just as powerful. It's a scaled-down version of the G90. Peter Schreier is the creative director of Hyundai Kia, also known by being the designer of the legendary Audi TT. Yes, the gangster favorite sports car, the Audi TT. Peter says that the designers get influenced by their surroundings, and in South Korea, people live and breathe tech, art, fashion, music, K-pop, and pleasure dolls. Okay, the last one might be just me, but don't judge me, okay? I get lonely sometimes. The G70 launched in 2017 is even cheaper than the G80. Not as luxurious, but is aiming for the C class instead of E and S classes. The 2020 facelift version is arguably better looking than its German rivals. The Turbo Sport package is the top of the line for the G70, and with a 3.5-liter engine and an all-wheel drive system, it makes it a very appealing for sedan lovers. With multiple engine configurations, you can get it exactly as you want. The K-pop lover that wants a 2.2-liter diesel engine, or the sexually insecure guy. Oh, they're the same. I'm sorry. You know what? Just get the Turbo Sports package. Man up. Genesis being run by a bunch of smart and extremely experienced people, they saw that the market was changing. Housewives stopped buying big sedans or even minivans. Ew, ugly. And started to look elsewhere. Sport utility vehicles, SUVs for short, It was a great opportunity because people loved it. They did not need to worry about parking because the SUV provides some height, and now you're able to destroy curbs and parallel park on top of small cars. And with that, Genesis took advantage, and this year they released two SUVs, the GV80 and the GV70. Let's start with the GV80. That is the top of the line for the SUVs and directly competes with Audi, Mercedes, and BMW. It kind of looks like a Bentley Bentayga, but with a lot more technology, and if you get lucky, it comes with a good pleasure doll. You might get lucky. Jokes aside, this car looks gorgeous, and with a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 making 375 horsepower, not bad for a K-pop luxury car. The interior has great quality materials and assembly, and with a great looking wide infotainment screen on the tablier. It also has a 3D gauge cluster. Yes, 3D baby. You can see your RPMs and your speed in 3D. That's just amazing. It also has lane assist that is arguably the best on the market. And of course, it wouldn't be a good K-pop machine if it didn't have RGB lights. So of course it does. It also has noise canceling, so if your wife keeps shouting at you from outside the car just because you forgot it was her birthday, just turn the noise canceling on and it would be silent. The GV70 has a similar design, but as it is cheaper, I don't have as many functionalities. It is not as luxurious as the GV80, but I see it as more like a millennial SUV, not as much as an executive that has two kids. It's more sized like a Porsche Macan instead of a Bentayga like the GV80. The interior is very similar and just breathes quality, just like its bigger brother. Being a very techie culture, in the GV70 you don't need a key, and you might say, I don't need a key in my Tesla. Yeah, but in the GV70, if you have fingers, you can use them to start the car. You just need to add your fingerprint and that's it. The power of biometrics. It's only bad when you get carjacked because they might take your finger too. But this brand is on the right track to be one of the greatest luxury car brands ever, and it can easily beat their European rivals. Launched in 2018, the Genesis Essentia is the big moment in the spotlight for the Korean brand. Although it is a concept, it is the first ever electric car from the Genesis brand. We don't know much about the motors, but we do know that there are maybe 4 because this electric sports car can easily go from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. We all know that North Korea could do better, maybe if they glued an ICBM rocket engine to a car. Jokes aside, the Essentia is a design concept. The point is the essence of the car, and the technology added to this concept. This 2+2 Grand Touring car is a design masterpiece, with full 3D printed carbon fiber panels that are extremely lightweight and rigid due to the hollowed out inside pattern. With gull-wing doors that open from a fingerprint scanner mounted on the B-pillar, technology from this 2018 concept car has already tricked down to the 2020 GV80 and GV70. With a gorgeous interior that has materials like velvet, carbon fiber, aluminum, and leather, with a huge screen that stretches itself all the way from one side to the other, and for the gauge cluster is a smaller screen in front of the driver, it has curved edges and it really feels like it's floating. Unlike other electric cars, in the Essentia, they thought it was important to make the car as low as possible, so they store the batteries in the middle of the car. Basically where the transmission would be in a normal combustion engine. So if they ever start to burn, it's even closer to you. Perfect for those who need extra warmth on those cold mornings. But don't worry, because they definitely have a lot of experience with batteries and electric motors. This car has a beautiful outline. It's normal. They basically said to the designers, yeah, just do whatever you want. I bet they were all excited to finally make something that looked like a proper sports car. They were probably very bored designing executive sedans for old middle-class Koreans. The grille of the Essentia essentially looks like a Lost Nemo with a surprise face, but that's its only pet peeve. The windshield goes all the way from the back to the front of the car. That creates a really cool looking see-through bonnet, and the designers and engineers used that to place the pushrod Formula 1 style suspension. Super cool to see that in the front of the car. The headlights are 2 parallel LED lights that go from the front to the side of the car, just skipping the wheel, a design that is what the brand wants to be known for. On the back of the car, you can see that diffuser under the car. No exhaust pipes, of course, and the 2 striped tail lights as well to match the front. The coolest part of the back of the car is the Genesis badge lights up, and it gives a futuristic vibe to the car. Okay, it looks great, but it's just a concept car. You might be right saying that, but the most important part is the design and technology that this car brings, and as mentioned previously, some technology and definitely style has already trickled down to other models. Maybe you'll even get your favorite K-pop star to sign your car. Who knows? But guys, we still have hope, because until 2021, Genesis is supposed to launch its 6th car, and is a grand tourer. Might not be Essentia, but it will definitely show some similarities. Whether you like the Essentia or not, it was a great starting concept for Genesis. I hope you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I might even introduce you to a K-pop star. Thank you for watching. See ya!